Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. This morning, I said to the universe, if I'm so good, then show me. And I looked up on the clock on the stove and it said 9:09. And I just started this podcast at 9:19. So I feel like the numbers are going to be stalking me today. But I watched this video yesterday about Abraham Hicks. It wasn't about them. It was an Abraham Hicks video. And it was saying that we got to start playing the game differently in life. And basically, like, we've been feeling, like, unworthy. And we almost need to, like, step up and be a little arrogant to the universe. They didn't use that word. But it's like, hey, universe, if I'm so good, then show me. Then show me evidence of my goodness. And it's like, expect it, or just be like, prove it, show me. So anyways, I've been laughing about that. Okay, so what's up? My new name is Late Start Sadie. Remember when I was getting up early? And yes, those days are over. Okay, so I still did get up early, but I laid in bed and listened to some music, checked in with the world, the online world, to see where it was at. Kind of crazy this week, with everyone freaking out about the coronavirus. And I'll be honest, like, I'm seeing both sides, and I'm like wondering, like, really what's up? And not that there's two sides, but there kind of is. Like, there's people who are like saying, like, this is going to be the worst thing ever in the world. There are people saying that this is just 100% politics, and they're just trying to, like, crash the Trump economy, and like, it's just this is a political move because, like, I don't know, like, they were saying, like, more people died with the regular flu, and, like, I don't know. And then you see, like, other people who it's hard to tell. Is this a challenge practice for our discernment or what? It's like, dang, like, just another one of those scenarios. You're not even sure who to believe or what to believe, but then at the same time you're like, well, maybe precautions are good, or maybe this or that. Like, it's good to know your antiviral herbs, and it's good to be healthy, and it's good anyways. I can definitely see how people are challenged so much, because I'm like just peeking in to, like, check it out, and I'm like, yeah, I can pick up on that challenge, because, like, I would, if this is 100% politics, I would actually love that. Because I would rather, like, it just be like the game being played out than, like, something that, like, really could be trying to wipe out humanity. Obviously, I would much rather just be like dirty scoundrels playing games than, like, something really to worry about. So anyways, on Wednesdays, that's today, we come together with the intention to manifest more good stuff. And today, we're going to manifest more compassion. So out of this whole deal, out of the whole corona thing, I really see compassion becoming infectious. So if anything becomes infectious and invades every single human being, let it be compassion. Let it be love. Let it be an understanding. Let it be, this ability to relate and sympathize and hold each other energetically. right? So compassion, that's what we're going to talk about today. I have a buttload of compassion cards. Probably missed a few, but then like when I'm looking at this stack, I think there's 10 cards. I'm like, yo, this is plenty, plenty, plenty. So there's all types of cards, from the dragon butterfly to a tree to a sacred activation to marshmallow to another sacred geometry, to some art, to something that has love and compassion. I grabbed that one because I thought, you know what, I like that. There's the goddesses of compassion with the faces of the Merry Masters. That one's going to be a little intense, but I thought, you know, why not? We have one that says practice compassion, and then Archangel Zadkiel. So we'll start with the butterfly, and then actually I'm just going to mix up these cards because I feel like, you know, like sometimes I take it upon myself to be like, oh, we're doing this one and that one first, and, you know, and then, okay. But I don't really need to be in charge of everything like that all the time. So there, I've mixed them up so they're not in the order that I told you, but those are the order that we're gonna do because I love a little orchestration from the universe in my life. I don't need to be in charge of everything, and that's kind of what, you know, Corona is teaching me personally. I don't know what's going on. I'm not in charge of everything. But what I can do is stay in my heart space, and I can feel secure in the now moment, and I can be prepared and ready for whatever, but also make sure that I am witnessing and observing myself so that I'm not freaking out. And if I do start to freak the fuck out, like we did our Tarot Tuesday layout yesterday, I'm witnessing myself, so I'm not identifying with that anxiety and with that fear. Like, okay, it may have arisen within me, but I'm going to watch it, I'm going to observe it, and I'm going to let it pass through me, not anchor it into my body. Like, as soon as you say, oh, that is I am afraid, I am freaking out, you have now identified with it, you've now placed ownership on it. You own that shit now, right? So, and then you hold it in your body. Whereas if you just let yourself see, okay, I'm feeling that, I'm experiencing that, you become very conscious of it, and you're able to let it pass through you instead of holding it in your cells, right? In your energy field. So yeah, we want this stuff to pass through us. There's going to be a lot of stuff that wants to pass through us that isn't even ours. Okay, like the collective energy is just so intense right now. Like out of nowhere, you might just get this wave of negative energy. Just let it pass through you. You don't need to hold on to it and identify with it. Okay, just watch it, observe it, see it, but let it play out without holding on to it, without freaking the fuck out. Okay, so today, manifest more compassion. So we had this butterfly dragon Monday because it is an elder card. It's got elder flowers on it. This is the large blue butterfly that we hung out with Monday. It's gorgeous because it's blue, but yet it has these black lowlights, right? It's got black dots on it, spots on its wings. It has like a stripe of black down its neck and tail and legs because it's a dragon. It's so cute. But it's a butterfly. I love these cards. Let me grab the book here. This oracle is the Enchanted Blossoms. I just saw 818 now. Okay, dang. The numbers are going to grab me all day, I guess, because that's one thing that I've set for myself as a confirmation that the universe can play with me about. And I asked I told the universe, if I'm so good, show me. So I'm now, what will happen is just numbers will stalk me all day. Okay, fine, it's a start. Okay, compassion. So elder is our herb of the week, with its small white flowers blossoming into bunches of plump berries. Elderflower has been featured in folklore, dun, 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 from ancient times to our modern legends. Many traditions link elder trees to protection and spirits. As for modern myth, the most powerful wand in the Harry Potter series was a wand made from the elder tree. Domestically, the berries are used in many foods and drinks, such as cordials and fruit pies. All right, so that's our herb of the week. Shout out to elder. Maybe we'll do our affirmations like lickety split right off the bat, since we're talking about elder. Great affirmations this week. I went to print them off, and then I realized I had uploaded them wrong to the Patreon page, so I fixed that. So now there is a downloadable PDF for anybody who wants to download the elder affirmations, or just screenshot the picture, save it to your phone, and think of elder this week, because she is here to remind us that we need to honor the cycles of life, right? We need to access our ancient wisdom. We should feel protected and guided, okay? Because we are not just physical beings, we are physical and spiritual. Elder also came through this week to remind us that we need to focus on what we want to attract to us. So, burn, do we want to attract the coronavirus? Well, we certainly are focusing on it a lot. So maybe we need to swap our corona for compassion. And then the other thing that Elder reminded us is that we are creators, and we can create a magical life full of connection using ritual and all these things that our ancestors knew about, but we kind of have sort of lost. So anyways, let's swap our coronas for compassion. Elkies, I'm not talking to you. You can keep your coronas, but I'm talking how much do you believe in the law of attraction? Do you believe Jesus is your Lord and Savior? Do you believe in the law of attraction? Okay, listen. If you do, or even if you slightly do, then you understand that whatever you are focusing on, you are pulling to yourself. You're attracting it to yourself. Do you really want to attract this? Obviously not. Obviously that's a big fuck no, right? But it's like, okay, well then why are you? Why am I? Why is everybody? Why are we pulling this to us? Is it because we're weak-minded? Is it because we're caught up in the collective energy? Is it because without us realizing how influential the media is, like even those of us who are like, I don't watch the news, even those of us that claim that, like, yeah, but guess what? It still influences you a lot, right? Because everyone else watches the news and talks about the news, and you're on Facebook with everybody else, and right? So it's like, whoa, if you could just slam your foot on the brakes right now. That's funny if someone's driving and actually did that, but like, I'm talking just metaphorically. Just slam the brakes. Stop yourself right now from thinking about any more of this. And when you do catch yourself thinking about it again and again and again, because it's going to come up, just say to yourself, I now swap my thoughts of corona for thoughts of compassion. I now manifest more compassion. I now think about compassion. I now think about love. I now think about the things that I want to attract to me. And then think about the things that you want in your life. Think about the things that you want to feel and think about. Oh, don't you just want to feel love and like comfort and warmth and connection and creativity? So anyways, something to think about. Compassion is one of the strongest and most complex of human emotions. Through compassion, we not only feel and understand the feelings and hurts of others, but we may choose to accept those feelings and help relieve the pain. This card is a reminder to breathe. If you haven't taken a deep breath yet today, do so now. This card is a reminder to breathe and have sympathy for yourself and your situation. Do not be too hard on the way you think, you feel, or on your outward goals. All things take time, and sometimes we need space to heal before we can reach our goals. Empathy moves us to listen to the others to see if we can offer kindness to those in need. We may not agree with every view or idea people express, but we can show compassion while holding our own views sacred. So having compassion for everyone. So there's 2 questions to contemplate. How can I show myself more compassion and understanding? Right? So first off is like, how can you be more compassionate to yourself? And then another question you can ask is, who needs my compassion today? Who needs my compassion today? I don't have to agree with them. I don't have to be on the same page as them, but who in my life today needs my compassion, right? I don't have to give up any of my own opinions or beliefs or sacred views, right? But like, I can still show these people, these beautiful people that I am connected with, compassion, right? All people. So yeah, that's going to just get our foot in the door with compassion. What I'm really interested in is like seeing how many different ways compassion can be defined in all these oracle cards today. Because like compassion still is like one of those things that like it's hard to put your finger on. You're like, okay, so what is it? Is it empathy? Is it sympathy? Is it like what exactly is compassion? Like, am I supposed to feel bad for them or hold them in a beautiful, loving space? Like, because it's a little complicated. Like it said, it's real complex. Like, you're like, oh, okay, so I'm supposed to like feel for them, but yet still like hold them in a loving light. Kind of like an emotional, like, do we have to be emotional masters to be able to do this? Kind of. So anyways, I'm really excited to like hear compassion being reiterated in lots of different words and ways, so that by the end of this podcast, we're going to have a better feel for compassion. And yeah, absolutely. We definitely want to manifest more compassion. Like, even if our heads are like, what is it exactly? Our hearts know that it's exactly what the world needs. And even if we can't explain what it is, if we can tap into the energy of, to the frequency of compassion, we're going to be able to pump out some good vibes into this world that desperately needs it. This affirmation minute is brought to you by our Herb of the Week, Elder, and I dedicate all these affirmations to you, beautiful, lovely. I am a goddess that honors the cycles of life. I access ancient wisdom. I am protected and guided. I am physical and spiritual. I focus on what I want to attract to me. I create a magical life full of ritual and connection. I am a goddess that honors the cycles of life. I access ancient wisdom. I am protected and guided. I am physical and spiritual. I focus on what I want to attract to me, and I create a magical life full of ritual and connection. And so it is. Woo! All right, so this next card is from one of my favorite oracle decks called Earth Magic by Stephen D. Farmer. And it is the Love Compassion card. And it's just beautiful. It's got that perfect green color, like that vintage kitchenware color theme in the background. And it's got a heart with light coming out of it. And there is these two hands, two different people. So the hand on the bottom is like giving the heart, giving the love, giving the compassion, and the hand on the top reaching down is receiving it. So it's a beautiful, wonderful card. I'm going to put it up at the top. Do I want to put the top? I'm going to put it like on top of, nope, I'm not. I'm going to put it on the bottom of this spread. We're going to have a lot of cards to work in here. And I feel like I want all the cards like smashed up against each other. I just looked up and saw 111. Yeah, because I love being close to people. I love hugs. I love kisses. I love just, having my body like just even like hip to hip. Come here, honey. Let's stand hip to hip. Which is funny because I'm not really that cuddly of a form. I mean, I'm like knobby and bony and skinny and muscular. Like, I'm not soft. Like when I was pregnant, I got up to 65 pounds at the end of my pregnancy. So like right away I had gained weight and I was like big the whole time, like growing. But anyways, that was the one thing that I recognized right away, how much I enjoyed being a bigger girl, because like I was like, oh my God, like the hugs are better. I just felt so huggable, like having like even my arms, like if you've seen Herbal Marie on Instagram, I got some guns. Like I'm basically the very most masculine form of feminine you can get. And my arms softened up. I had boobs, I had hips, I had butt, I had a belly. Like, I mean, every single part of me got bigger because I am a small person and I was carrying a lot of weight for me. And I felt so huggable and I loved it. I loved being bigger. So anyways, I got to do that 3 times because I have 3 beautiful children. And so 3 times my bag of bones blossomed into this beautiful goddess form, and I loved it. So anyways, I still love being smashed up against people, but like, I mean, if you like ran into me for a hug, my like bony collarbone would like break you. You know what I mean? Like, for someone who loves to be like cuddly, like I really am just a bag of bones. But anyways, nonetheless, let's focus on love. Let's focus on compassion from the Earth Magic Oracle deck. So yeah, this is a beautiful card. Like, compassion is actually the secondary word on the card, but I was like, yeah, I just feel like we can sit with compassion for as long as we want to today. Everyone's taking a slower pace this week. I mean, it's like, what's the rush? And maybe that's a lot of the point of all this. Everybody needed to slow down. Everyone needed to get back to basics. Everyone needs to get back to love and get into a state of compassion. That is definitely what the world needs. So do your best today to think about this again and again. So in this, I'm going to read straight from the guidebook. In this beautiful image, we see hands reaching toward each other through a heart. The green field surrounding them is the color of the 4th or heart chakra. It's when we feel love in our heart center. And put your hand on your heart right now. Go ahead. Like right in just the middle of your chest, your heart chakra. When we feel love in our heart center, in our chest there, we not only naturally emit the healing energy of compassion, but we also attract love and compassion. So we're putting it out and we're receiving it back, okay? Because we're literally a magnet. So studies by the Heart Math Institute reveal that the electrical signals from the heart are up to 60 times stronger than the brain's, and the magnetic field is as much as 5,000 times more powerful. So literally, your heart has electrical signals and a magnetic field that they can measure. And it is way more powerful than your brain. So letting your heart do the thinking sounds good to me. It's a given that our thinking patterns attract our feelings and in turn our reality. What we put out, whether it is love or it's fear, empathy, sadness, whatever you put out, contains an incredible amount of power to shape and influence our reality. So you literally need to check your ass, okay? What am I putting out? Ask yourself, what am I putting out? You start thinking mindlessly on autopilot, stop yourself. Say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What am I putting out? Okay? Become very aware of the signal you are emitting. Because what you put out, you get back. Okay, pretty simple science law. What you put out, you get back. If you throw a ball against the wall, it comes back at you. That's how it works. That's how everything works. So when the focus of our attention and intention is love and compassion, we recognize no separation between self and other. So I make intentions to manifest more compassion. I put my attention on love. I am now emitting compassion and love. I am offering the world compassion and love. I am putting out the energy of compassion and love. So the message from this oracle card is all wounds stem from the illusion of separation and of all creation. The route to healing this wound of separation is through cultivating love and compassion for every being on this planet, including yourself. Not a bland standard of unquestioned acceptance, okay, but a heartfelt sense of profound relatedness to whatever you perceive as a part of yourself. So it's not us and them anymore. If you still are doing us and them, and we probably are all doing that to a certain degree, we need to start taking them in as us. You are another version of me. I am another version of you. We are profoundly related. We are connected. Start seeing every single being on this planet as connected to you. And something just sort of switched inside of me and made me want to cry. True compassion requires not only the feeling of warmth that emanates when you are in touch with your heart center, but in acts of kindness, even if this simply means being a fully attentive listener. So it is suggested that we respect the fact that our hearts is a giver and a receiver. So respect the fact. Look up Heart Math Institute if you want online. Check into it. But the heart is a giver. It puts out electrical energy. And then it's a receiver. It draws in magnetic energy. These energies are best sensed by attending to the steady flow of your breathing while also noticing your heart area. So if you have time today, and I know you do because you could do it right now, really focus on your breathing and put your energy, just notice the energy in your heart space. If you can quiet your mind and get into the now moment, you can reset yourself. You can recalibrate yourself. So what pops into our heads then sometimes? Righteousness, fear, anger, judgment. These are the common ways that block our natural desire to love. So your natural state of being is one of love, but we've got all this mind junk, fear, anger, judgment, righteousness, selfishness, lack. All this stuff gets in the way of that natural desire to love. Forgiveness is not only letting go of judgment, but also seeing through the illusion that you and all that is are separate. So look about you and look inside of you and do your best to love whatever you see. So do your best to love whatever you see. Do your best to love the people that you lay eyes on. Do your best to stay in love, in that feeling of love inside of you as much as you can. Today, every day, this week, just stop, close your eyes, focus on your heart space and breathe. And just breathe for a while and let yourself naturally go back to love and compassion. And then when you open your eyes again, do your best to love whatever it is that you're seeing. All right, so awakening to your divine self is the next oracle that we're gonna go with. I always thought this lady looked kind of sad. She's like bluish skin and she's kind of like looking down. Like this never seemed like a real happy card to me. In this awakening to your divine self oracle, wisdom and love from your fearless sisters. Wisdom and love to your fearless sisters. So I'm gonna put her on the right side for right now of love and compassion so that she's looking down towards the heart. If I put her on the left side, she seems too aloof and looking away like she's alone. So I'm going to put her over here so maybe she is just kind of in that meditative space of compassion. I shit you not, I feel like she has borage flowers. One on her third eye, one on her throat chakra, and one on her heart chakra. There's a hand imprint on her heart, over her heart. Like it just looks like the shadow of what was. I feel like there's some honeycomb. This is an amazing painting or drawing. I'm not sure how they did it. Hold on. I wonder if I could just shout out the artist. So this deck is, I think, 39 different artists came together. And yeah, they all have, so there's, every card has like a different look to it. Tammy Chacon, Tammy Chacon is the one who made this artwork. She has an Etsy shop called Choose Joy Studio. Choose Joy Studio. She's on Etsy. Yeah, it's a really amazing looking art. So anyways, let's see what this says about compassion. Open hand, open heart, open mind. So we've got an open hand, Yep, there it is. The open heart. There's a heart on the palm of that hand imprint. An open mind. So yeah, she's kind of like, it almost looks like like when you power down a robot or something. That's kind of how like her face looks, but that's maybe what we need to do. These dumbass robot minds of ours, it's like, let us power down, like, and like your head just like goes down, kind of like shut off this constant chatter that is running around in your head, right? It's like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Oh my God, right? I mean, just power down and get into your heart space. So she is looking within. She looks within, seeking compassion for herself, letting that compassion flow out through her open hand, open heart, and open mind. She sees the love, the hurt, the hope, the possibility in what is and what will be. She knows that this day and all days will unfold as they should. That compassion and love are the path to finding peace within and without. She is within each of us, ready to heal, to let the light of compassion touch the raw and open wounds, to bring warmth and love to each, and in that healing of self, to expand the compassion to all. Through compassion, find joy. Joy in the now, and joy in the possibility of each moment. Whew, I like that. Through compassion, find joy. So through compassion, through looking out, yeah, it's not like you don't see it all, right? You see the wounds, but you also see the hope, right? You also see the possibilities. It is definitely one of the most complex things going on, but through compassion we can find joy in the now, and then joy in the possibility of each moment. So yeah, I love that she said, first we have to have compassion for ourselves, and then we will expand that compassion to all. So yeah, you got to get it cultivated inside yourself first before you have anything to give anybody. So have compassion for yourself today, and then let that expand outward. So the next card that we have is the Soul Trees by Allison Williams Yee. This is a sweet little curvy green and blue tree with pink blossoms. Just a real sweet little message. I will curvy her little tree hip up to that butterfly card. I think that feels pretty good. All she has to say about compassion in her little pamphlet guidebook is a reminder to offer kindness and empathy to people, life situations, and to yourself. When you don't understand the actions of another, try compassion before judgment or blame. So yeah, judgment and blame are our go-tos. Like, what are you making for dinner tonight? Just a little judgment and blame. Well, instead of doing that, let's try to see if we can. I looked up and saw 202. This is hilarious. Let's try out a little compassion before judgment, before blame, especially when we don't understand the actions of another. So offer kindness and empathy to people, to everything going on, 222, and to yourself. So yeah, to yourself for sure. All right, now we have a big card next. It's the goddesses of compassion, the faces of the Mary Masters. This is a very unique deck that I don't even know if you can get anymore. It's called the Magda Lion Oracle by Sharanda and Kumara. She did these incredible paintings on silk, and so all her artwork is featured on these cards, and it's an incredible guidebook with the messages of Mary Magdalene. Open portals to love, power, and wisdom. So this is the faces of the Mary Masters. So we have some incredible energy in this card. We have Kuan Yin, we have Mary Magdalene, and we have Isis and Mother Mary. So when you look in this card, you see all four of them, plus you see some other forms of women. There's a baby up there. It's incredible, like truly. So I'll be sure to get a good picture, to get a good shot of it to put on the Herb Oracle Instagram, because there's roses, there's stars, there's Kuan Yin, there's a lot of peace, there's a lot of sensuality, there's a lot of flow in this painting. It's beautiful. And the stars, like when I step back and see it now, they're in an oval shape, like an egg, like the pink egg. So anyways, when you look at this card, or just right now, you can close your eyes and feel the healing energies of the Mary Masters. Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Isis, and Mary Magdalene. So they're all coming together on this card because they represent deep compassion and motherly devotion to God and humanity. So the Mary Masters of Compassion have hugs to share with all. All Mary Masters, united in oneness and purpose, have a powerful love that is unconditional and inspires self-empowerment and spiritual growth. So I love this card so much. The name Mary is means mother, or it's used as mother. The powerful mother energy of the Mary Masters of Compassion holds a strong flow of rose ray energy. So there's roses all in, like, on her chest, coming like in front of Mary. She's holding them on her heart space. There's a rose in front of Kuan Yin. Yeah, the rose ray. So we just had rose as our herb of the week, and so beautiful. Did we? Did we have rose? No, we didn't. Did we? What, am I making stuff up? Did we? Yes, we did. It was week 2. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Go back to week 2 if you want to connect with rose. But the essential oil of rose is that, like, the highest frequency. Remember that? So that oil represents the Mary Masters. So if you have rose oil, maybe a little anointing of your heart chakra, call in the Mary Masters of Compassion. You can call on any of these guides, these guides, if you need help. Opening up your heart chakra, feeling compassion, like Mother Mary, I call on you now. Kuan Yin, I call on you now. Mary Magdalene, Isis, I call on all of y'all. All y'all, get in here. I need you right now. Bring them into your sacred ceremonies. So they're all coming in, united as one in this collective energy, to remind you to stay committed to a life of forgiveness and compassion. Hold the energy of compassion in your heart and express this outwardly in your interactions with your brothers and sisters of our mother Gaia, while maintaining and sustaining this high frequency energy. Peace on earth can be realized. So once again, it's like, what are you putting out? What do you, as a creator, as an energetic person with a heart, what do you want to anchor into Gaia, into the earth? So it's reminding us that we are all connected. The people of earth are your brothers and sisters of this planet. It is one big earth family. You are connected to every single living being. You are connected to all things, to everyone and everything. What do you want to energetically send them? How long today? How much? How often can you maintain these high frequency vibes? How much love can you generate? So literally, you are a generator. Your heart literally has electrical pulses and magnetic pull. How much can you get going inside of you? How much can you light up from within and expand and emit outward? That is a gift onto the world. That is a gift to your fellow earth family when you do that. So try to maintain and sustain this high frequency energy as much as you can, because if we want peace on earth, we have to have it inside of us first. That's how that works. Peace on earth is peace inside of every human. And then we'll see it. But we have to get it going on inside of us. And it starts with you. And it starts with me. So, dang. Are you familiar with these four ladies? These four goddesses of compassion? Mother Mary, probably. I'm sure you heard of her. She's the mother of Jesus. Jesus Mama. It says she is one with the Mary Masters, also known as the Order of Mary. You will know you have had a visitation from Mother Mary by smelling fragrant roses. She represents the Divine Mother principle on earth, and she has accepted the responsibility of holding the Immaculate Concept, which is the divine blueprint for the ascension into the light for every single person on earth. So, yeah, a lot of this stuff, a lot of this craziness in the world is just probably part of the purging of the lower based frequencies that is needed, because our frequency is going to be raising, right? We are ascending. So Mary Magdalene then, that is Jesus's wife, says, let's see, our consciousness today has expanded to include a whole new concept of Mary Magdalene. Moreover, she has been reborn in the hearts of many to her true divine and loving nature. Her blackened name is being restored to reflect her true loving soul. As an icon of the divine feminine, Mary Magdalene has a special grace and beauty in her humanness and passionate devotion to God and humanity. So shout out to Tina Louise Spalding. She wrote a book about Jesus. I think it's called Jesus, My Autobiography. And that was an interesting read, and it gave a lot of insight to Jesus and Mary's relationship. So check that out if you want. Then we have Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin embodies gentle, loving care, grace, and feminine softness, but a softness with strength and character. With Asian flair, she guides you with her sweet sisterly presence, alive with compassion. Exuding a grounded peace, she rides her gentle dragon. So yeah, there's a lot of amazing energy. And then Isis is probably the one that I'm least familiar with. Cosmic Mother Isis, in all her heavenly as well as human aspects, incarnated and lived the goddess way of tender loving care and compassion. By nurturing and embodying the goddess and divine feminine energy, angelic humans can anchor the ascension energy here on Mother Gaia. All Mary Masters hold us close with their sacred heart presence. Mankind's deepening devotion to goddess energy is changing the world. So yeah, everyone has divine feminine and divine masculine within them, regardless of gender. And we really do need to tap into this divine feminine energy. All of us, my ladies and my dudes, like we all need to open up our heart spaces and our heart chakras and nurture and embody that within us so that we, can live the goddess way of tender, loving care and compassion. So we can manifest more compassion. So that is the message of this card. You are the heart of the mother. You are a Mary Master yourself. With compassion, care, and grace, you can love the sick back to health. The gift you give blesses yourself 1,000-fold. Mastery is the reward for living your motherly role for humanity. You hold space for all with grace. And I just think that could not be more timely. As we have sick people in the world, and I'm not even just talking about the corona. I mean, the world is sick, right? The world has gotten so far off of, just crazy. Violence, it's a sickness almost, it's crazy. You can love the sick back to health, but specifically when people are ill right now, your love that you emit can bring them back to health. Okay? So that is why it's so important for those of us who are able to step aside from the chaos and actually hear right now. It's so important for you to do your part of projecting compassion. Be aware of what you are emitting. Take responsibility for your frequency. Okay? Take responsibility for what you're putting into the pot. Okay? So the quicker and longer you can do that, right? The more you can sustain and maintain this high frequency love energy of compassion, the more you'll be able to step into your motherly role for humanity. The more space you're going to be able to hold for people. The more grace you're going to be able to offer. Okay? So with compassion, care, and grace, you can love the sick back to health. Whew. After every card, I'm just like, whoo, wow, what a doozy. All right, so while we're getting guidance from the higher realms, this is fun. Our next card is Archangel Zadkiel, so I like how that's playing out. Let's put him, I guess, down here. Let's see. I'll put him on the other side of love and compassion under our soul tree. All right, so Archangel Zadkiel, soften your heart with respect to this situation and all people involved, including yourself. That's his message, right? So whatever situation in life you find yourself in, you can always soften your heart a bit more for everyone around you and for yourself too, right? Be gentle, be easy, Be loving. What a big message of forgiveness, though, too. That was in with the Mary Masters card. That's been sort of trickling along, instead of jumping into shame and blame and judgment, we really do. Like, if you have not yet embarked on a forgiveness practice, I definitely recommend looking into the lessons of the Course in Miracles. I never read the actual book, but I did all 365 lessons last year. It was, I don't know how it works, but it works. Something shifted and changed inside of me. I did them with Tina Louise Spalding. I know I'm such a fangirl of Tina Louise Spalding, but on YouTube, she has videos where she'll read the lesson to you, and then she does a channeling, which is just amazing. And then that's how I did them. I listened to them, and then I read them. I downloaded a free app on my phone for the Course in Miracles lessons, and that's all I did. I just, once a day, I read them and thought about them and, did the exercises or whatever. It's really simple, but it helps like untrain a lot of the judgment programs that we have we installed in our mental space. Basically, it helps kind of unravel them. But if you go to my YouTube channel, Sadie Marie Cherico, I have all of the lessons together in one playlist. So if that helps you out, there you go. So Archangel Zadkiel, he's standing here. He's also looking down almost the same way as our blue compassion lady. And you know what's really interesting? He's got bluish skin too. That's interesting. And his hands are up holding light. His hands are up right in front of his throat, kind of outward a little bit, holding light. And he's got these big old angel wings. And he's definitely strong but gentle. And he has a message for you. He says, I can help you forgive yourself and others, or to compassionately see everyone's point of view. You needn't change your stance or behavior. It simply means approaching the situation with a loving heart, which empowers you and allows creative solutions to pour forth. So it's like you don't have to change how you think or feel or your stance, but the only thing that needs to change is the energy, right? If you're not forgiving people, you're holding resentment. So it's like Archangel Zadkiel and all the Mary Masters, everybody is like here saying, let's get you more loving. Let's get you more compassionate. So Archangel Zadkiel, his name means righteousness of God, and he helps us release unforgiveness towards ourselves and others. So you can call on him too. You can ask him to come into your dreams and act like a chimney sweep, clearing away any emotional toxins from your heart. He'll ensure that everyone's needs are met and that emotional healings occur in miraculous ways. So unforgiveness is literally poison. Oh my God. And that's why I was like, I have to do something, because I am like killing myself inside with all this resentment and hatred and resentment. That's kind of what unforgiveness festers. Just makes you bitter, makes you cold. It makes, you're not loving if you're resenting. So that's why I did A Course in Miracles. And that's definitely a reason to call on Archangel Zadkiel to help soften your heart, right, towards everyone and yourself too. Absolutely. Okay, so moving on to the Magical Herb Oracle. We have seen this card before lots and lots of times. This is the Marshmallow card with compassion, number 12. So yeah, this card loves us. I'm going to put it up here beside the compassion tree. So it's sort of hanging off over the ledge, but that's okay. So we'll put it up there, top shelf. Oh, I could go up higher. I don't know. You know me, I'll probably like rearrange these before the end of the podcast and be like, you know what, let's just smear them all over the table. All right, so compassion with marshmallow. I'm drinking marshmallow right now. Drinking my sludgy, slimy water. It's so thick because I put it in the blender. So this says to trust your inner feelings and let them lead you a little more strongly. So let's get into our heart space and let that lead the way. Let our hearts lead our heads. Okay? It's stronger, more electrical, more magnetic. I think we can give it the driver's seat. Spiritual energy will be very high. So perhaps fulfillment or illumination of life will be easier to obtain. So yeah, this is a high energy time. There's a lot of energy flowing. So make sure you're accessing it and integrating it. And if it's not of the highest good, just let it flow through you. This is a time of giving, of looking out for others and taking a more supportive role. Remember that the more you give, the more you will receive, and in ways that may be not apparent in the first instance. So listen more than you talk. I'm like, okay. Give more than you take and bend a little more than usual. All right, so after I'm done with this podcast, I'm going to listen more than I talk. I'm going to give more than I take and bend a little more than usual. So that is a great message for compassion, and another reminder that what we give, we receive. So if you want to receive more, give more. When you give more, you do receive more. When you give love, it'll come back to you. And yeah, it's like it feels good to give love. So kind of instantly you feel it and it comes back to you. So more fulfillment, more illumination with this spiritual energy. Trust your feelings, let them guide you. Trust your heart, knowing what the right thing to do is. And what is the right thing to do? To be compassionate, to be loving, to be gentle, to be caring. So yeah, Marshmallow comes in to do all of that. She does have a marshmallow compassion spell for us if we would like to do that. We need some dried marshmallow leaf, some dried rose petals, some pink candles, and rose quartz crystals. Having marshmallow nearby when you perform spells will encourage good spirits and deities to assist you. The flowers are particularly good for love spells and blessings. Marshmallow is also regarded as the herb of persuasion, and carrying some upon you will make others more likely to agree with you. Hey, as long as you're using persuasion in the name of love and compassion, I say go for it, because yeah, the more people you can get on the love train and, practicing compassion, the better. So it does acknowledge that sometimes it is difficult to feel or understand the situation of others. Definitely. So that can be very difficult when you're like, what the actual F were they thinking, right? It's hard. It can be hard to get into a compassionate state when you're just so mind-boggled. So this spell will help to open your heart safely so you can be of more assistance and find what it is they truly need. If you need compassion yourself, for yourself, remember, you need to have this for yourself first. The spell will also open the door for this to come your way. So you get about 2 tablespoons of the dried marshmallow leaf, a cup of dried rose petals, 2 pink candles, and 2 rose quartz crystals. and you draw yourself a warm bath and sprinkle in the dried marshmallow leaf and rose petals. Make sure you have chosen a quiet time when you will not be disturbed. Light the pink candles and have them near the bath. Right, so you're going to turn off any electrical lighting, draw the windows closed, like have just the candlelight. And lay in the bath with your eyes closed, holding a rose quartz crystal in each hand, and invite compassion into your heart. All right, so this podcast is so long. I'm like, do we need to do the elder affirmations again? Like, dang, I had to get up, walk around, switch the laundry, practice what I just read to myself, because I went into the powder room bathroom because I had to pee, and there's like old piss in the toilet from last night, and it's like, what is with this teenager? Why can't he flush the toilet, And I was like, my mind was like, you should say something to him. But then my heart was like, why don't you just let him off the hook? And, he was probably so tired and, hey, is it a real big deal in the grand scheme of things? No. So it's like interesting how like we can talk ourselves into a more loving place when we have like these knee-jerk reactions in our heads. So watch yourself today, because like instantly, like I was like, oh, and here's your first practice session all day long, right? Walmart just called me, the Vision Center, got another, right? So it's like practicing compassion, practicing kindness. My mom texted me, I have to practice kindness and compassion with her, and hopefully she'll do the same for me, because on the side I help her clean a couple offices. And I kind of told her I didn't want to do it, with all this stuff going on, especially because it's a state health center. Like, of all the places in the world, I don't really want to be going there. So, like, hopefully love and compassion can infuse all parts of my life, and I'm not going to piss too many people off this week or next week or for the month or whatever. And like, same with me, like, being more flexible. When I'm looking at that Soul Trees card, she is so flexible. She's like curvy and swaying. She's got her hip out towards the butterfly. And it's like, yeah, we do need to just allow ourselves to soften and flow and activate our heart space and really cultivate compassion. So manifest more compassion. So now, might be a good card for all my nerds. This is a Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle that I'm looking at now. And we are looking at this amazing mandala. It's got these beautiful blues and greens, but at the center is this, and then there's one up, then there's some of the same color up here, like maybe representing the crown or third eye. There's this, it almost looks like a nucleus, an atom, and it's blue and got a little red and yellow. It's really amazing. Lawn is the lady who put this oracle together, and this is going to talk about frequency. So the frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. So this puts a new spin on it, because we've been talking about like cultivating this love, like we got to do the work ourselves. But this card is like saying, actually, you can flow this unconditional love from source, from the higher realm. Source is like another name for all that is, or God, the creator, source. If you can open up your heart, you can be the conduit. You can be the divine mediator between heaven and earth. So literally now, it's like receiving, like you are a conduit, like a little electrical thing that you are. You can receive this energy from God, from Source, from the universal love. Receive this unconditional love from the universe. And then it's like, whoa, so I don't have to like make myself feel anything. It's just actually a frequency. It's just actually an energy that I can pull in through my vessel, through my body, through my heart space, through my energy centers, and emit it out to the world. Like, doesn't that just sort of take the stress off of trying to feel compassion? It's like, oh, it's not a mental thing. It's just actually a frequency that you can bring in to the earth through your heart and then into the world. So maybe that's what these mandalas represent. There's that one up higher, and maybe that's Source, and then the one lower is you, and you're just bringing this energy into your body and then out into the world. So we can have the ability to stand beside others without judgment, right? As we're flowing this frequency of compassion. So that is a cool spin. I do. I like that a lot. I'm gonna put it on the other side of the faces of Mary, I guess. This is like a really wide layout, but that's okay. All right. Let me look in the book. I know she's got a lot to say about this. And I know this is already a long podcast already. But hey, it's like if you can't hang the whole time, you can't hang. But it would be nice for everyone to understand compassion as a frequency and look at ourselves as a conduit and just like an antenna, okay? Just bring in this frequency into the world. That's a great visualization too. Like just see compassion and love flowing down. See it as light. See it as love. See it however you want to see it, and have it just kind of, I don't know, I guess funnel down in through the top of your head, down into your heart, and then kind of just like a lighthouse. Like it just shines out of your chest like a lighthouse. See yourself just shining this love light, compassion out into the world to every single being. So the word compassion derives from the Latin word com, meaning with or together, and pati, meaning to suffer. So compassion can be described as the act of sharing in or being with another's struggle or suffering. Oftentimes, it includes the desire to alleviate this discomfort through benevolent action, sensitive understanding, and warm support. Compassion holds the highest energy of all human emotions. It is at the center of the multidimensional communication between the human being and his or her higher self. And this communication is elusive to humans who have the unique capability to feel emotion that is rooted in their connection to Source. Human emotion can also shift reality. We can choose to move into an emotion and with that shift the reality we are experiencing. So yeah, reality right now, in my opinion, definitely needs shifted. So sign up today. Sign up right now to be the emitter of the highest frequency, the highest energy of all human emotions, which is compassion. Sign up today and commit to do your best to put this out into the world and manifest more compassion. When we reach an inner state of balance based on wisdom and maturity, and when we feel empathy without attachment to our own projection or expectation, compassion easily flows from our heart to others, to our planet, and to ourselves. The frequency of compassion reminds us that each one of us walks a unique and individual path in life, and that we create this reality based on the emotions and experiences we choose for ourselves. So when we look at this mandala, the greens represent a heart that is open so that love and compassion can flow freely without restraints. The turquoise symbolizes the higher heart, the place where the energies from the heart and those from the throat merge into loving expression of truth. The water in the background indicates the emotional plane. The 6 shining flowers epitomize the light that is generated by the compassion that flows from an open heart. The number 6 is associated with love and relationships, harmony and balance. The flower in the middle represents the core of our being and our connection to Source. The colorful flower at the top is our shining expression on earth when that connection is solid and deeply rooted within ourselves. Okay, so that's what it is. All right, so let's try this. She has an exercise for us to try. Take a deep breath and close your eyes for a moment. Move your awareness to your heart. Think about all the people that you love and the gifts that they bring to your life. Now move your awareness to the people who challenge you. Can you see the gifts that they bring to you? And just sit with this for as long as you like. But yeah, whether people come off as blessings or stressings, they all contain gifts. Can you see them? So I absolutely adore and just devour that idea, that understanding that we flow compassion from Source. It's, yes, we can do our part to cultivate it, but ultimately we can just receive it and then give it, right? Allow it to flow through you. So we're down to our last 2 cards. This next card is a circular card from the Cosmic Deck of Initiation by Barbara M. DeLong. This is a really awesome deck. She got it made through US Game Systems. I randomly found it at a bookstore, bought myself a deck, gave one to my bestie, Asiel the Oracle. He is in love with this deck. He says this is his most powerful deck because he just understands it. It speaks through him. It's incredible. And the cards are circular, so it's kind of fun. So we have in front of us the universal compassion. So that just worked out perfect, having these cards the way they did. This is not the order I was going to do them in, but I'm just loving this now. Flowing compassion from Source, this universal compassion. It's not just something that we have to muster up in our humanness. No, it's something that's just in the universe. So I'm going to read from her little pamphlet book, Universal Compassion. It's got this great mandala, green, pink, yellow, purple, blues. It's wonderful. And the universal compassion says, letting go of the self, selflessness, and an empathy for all that surrounds you. Universal understanding and acceptance on a non-judgmental level. This quality opens and expands all other qualities and aspects of living. You are drawn into the realms of the unseen and higher levels of perception. Acceptance with love of individual destinies. So yeah, it don't give you too much, but boy, that was a lot, okay? So letting go of the self, right? This empathy for everyone, for all, right? Understanding and accepting without being judgmental. So big things. And it's saying that this quality, this universal compassion, opens and expands all other qualities and aspects of living. So if you don't really feel alive in your body, what's missing is compassion. So if you needed a little bit more motivation to manifest more compassion, know that it opens and expands all other qualities and aspects of living. This is definitely an energy, a frequency that does bring us into the higher realms, that does give us that higher perspective, a whole different perception of the world. When you're coming from this type of energetic attraction or set point, or, when you are flowing love and compassion in your heart, you are accessing it from your higher self and source, and you're just letting it come in you and out of you, and you're not judging, you're empathizing, you are recognizing people in their struggle and pain, but you're also seeing the possibility that they too can feel this beautiful love, this beautiful universal compassion. It does change our perception of everything. Acceptance with love of individual destinies. Everyone's on their own path. You just start to recognize that they have their guidance and they have their lessons, and you don't have to judge them one bit, right? All you need to do is share your frequency of compassion with them. All right, so on that note, we're going to end with practice compassion. This is from The Whispers of Love by Angela Hartfield. It's number 15. Number 15. Hey, that's funny. I put it right under the frequency of compassion, and it too is number 15. And what is 1 plus 5? 6. And what is 6? The number of love and compassion and harmony and balance and all that good stuff. So that's kind of fun for my number nerds. For my number nerds, we got 2 15s stacked on top of each other. And this is called practice compassion. And so there's this sweet young girl. She's got ivy in her hair. She's got birds in her hair, feathers in her hair. She's got a little mouse on her shoulder. She's holding a blue bird on her thumb in front of her, and she's just admiring it and loving it. And the card says, practice compassion, see things from a different perspective. So I think that's a great thing for us to do today. Start seeing things from a different perspective. Start swapping out the fear-based thoughts for more loving, compassionate thoughts, because we know that we are like little attraction machines, okay? It's how we are designed. So use this knowledge to create a reality that you prefer. And we all are going to prefer a reality based in universal compassion. So practice it. Practice compassion today. And then you will manifest more of it. Whatever you practice, you get good at. Like, I practiced judgment for so many years, I literally became the greatest judgmental bitch ever, right? But then I started seeing it in all of my life, right? My manifestations reflected that. So now if I want to turn that around, I have to practice something different. I have to practice compassion. I have to practice seeing things from a different perspective. So the card says in the guidebook, we can all benefit when we try to look at things from someone else's point of view, from someone else's viewpoint. We can all benefit. Walking in someone else's shoes helps us to have a tender understanding. that may change how we are feeling now. Bottom line, love and compassion always bring a positive outcome. So yeah, take that to the bank. Compassion always brings a positive outcome. You can't go wrong with compassion. So what do we need to do? We need to invite compassion into our heart. We need to flow compassion from source, right? We have the ability to change our reality. We have the ability to love the sick back to health. So we want to invite more compassion. We want to manifest more compassion. We want to find joy through compassion. We want to swap out all of the fear-based thinking for compassion. Just replace it, right? Just like you're replacing a light bulb. We used to have the light bulb that just had dark, it was like spray painted black, right? We're going to take that off. We're going to take that diseased thinking away, and we're going to replace it with non-judgment. We're going to replace it with love. We're going to replace it with empathy. We are going to replace it with compassion, and that is what we intend to practice. Not just today, not just on Wednesday, manifest more compassion, but we're going to continue to practice it, and we're going to see how long we can sustain and maintain this frequency of compassion, because it's going to flow through us, and it's going to be the basis of everything else. So soften your hearts, y'all. Bring in that love. Bring in that compassion. Close your eyes and see it flowing to you directly from source. See it flowing into you, and all you have to do is open up the gates to your heart and let it flow out of you and be the lighthouse. Just shine that love, light, compassion on to everyone and everything you see. And watch how that affects people. Watch how that comforts people and uplifts people, and it is literally going to change the reality that we are in. Are you with me? Sign up today. Compassion. Let's do this. I love you so much. Thanks for listening in. I'll see you back here again tomorrow. I mean it. I love you.